Hi there everyone, it's Misty here. Thank you so much for joining me. So as you can tell by the title of today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what's been going on with my back as in regards to all the MRIs that finally were done, what's happening with pain management, all of the things, and kind of weigh in and tell you what my goals are for the end of the year and what I'm thinking about as we go into 2023. So if you're new here, new to my channel, hi, my name is Misty. I started this channel in 2015 or 2016. I honestly don't know. I really started posting in March of 2017 when I started keto. I did keto and carnivore. I've been kind of back and forth on that for the past, since March 2017. Lost about 80 pounds, then had to go back on insulin, gained about 125 pounds, and now I'm trying to get back down again. I don't remember what I weighed in last January. We will talk about that in the New Year weigh-in, but yeah, so let me talk about diseases because this is where I forgot and that's why I'm refilming. I have type 2 diabetes, which I developed in 2006. I have rheumatoid arthritis, which I developed in like 2017, 2018. I have a genetic back condition called OPLL, ossification of the posterior longitudinal ligaments. Basically, the ligaments in the spinal canal are calcifying, which is causing stenosis, which is the narrowing of the spinal canal. It's causing issues with the spinal cord. It's causing issues with the nerves. It's causing all of the issues. I have all sorts of things. So back in 2020, after I had back surgery in 2020, I started having issues with nerve pain in my lower back. So when I had my laminectomy, the neurosurgeon was basically like, you really need me to fix like your entire lumbar spine. He's like, but he's like, I can't remove this because that will, you need that structure. And he's like, your alternative is to get a rod. And at that time, I wasn't quite ready for that. So I was like, was I even 40? Yeah, I was like 40 or 41, and I was just like, I'm not ready for that severe of a fix. And I was at my heaviest. I was back heavy again. That's the year I'd gained all my weight back. So I was like, I'm not ready for that. The laminectomy was hard enough. So back in 2020, I started having, I went to have my facet injections on my neck, and I can remember going one day and they had to come get me in the wheelchair because I could not walk. And she's like, are we going to do your neck or should we do your lower back? I was like, let's do my lower back. So the way my insurance works, I have to have 2 facet injections, and that's basically where they go in and they inject lidocaine into the nerve. And depending on how much relief you get from that is kind of where you go from there. So I got like 70% relief from the lidocaine. And so I was able to have a rhizotomy. So a rhizotomy is where they go in and basically it's a nerve ablation. They go in and burn the nerve to turn off that receptor to the brain that says, hey, this hurts. So we did that. I did that in 2021. And then I did another one. So September 2021. And I just did another one September 2022. And I got a little bit of relief, but not much. So my pain management doctor is like, we really need new images. You haven't had images since 2019. We really need to see what's going on so we can make sure that we're on the right course of action. So I finally, let me tell you, fighting with Baylor to get them to send shit in was the worst, the absolute worst. But I finally had all 3 MRIs, and that was probably the biggest. I was so worried about that. I had so much anxiety about that because I am claustrophobic now. The last time I had to have an MRI, it was in a tiny, tiny tube. I had a panic attack. I was wearing the wrong clothes. It was awful. And when I had my brain MRI, I told my neurosurgeon, I was like, nope, you're going to have to put me out. I said, because there's no way I can have a cage on my face and try to lay there and be still. So I had a sedative for that. So for this one, I was so nervous. The people were like, we have to, it's going to be 1 hour for each. She's like, it'll probably be 45 minutes for each. She's like, but we have to say 1 hour. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be flat on my back without being able to move for 3 flipping hours. So we get there. And the other thing I was concerned about was being claustrophobic. So I called around. Baylor no longer has, I'm in Dallas. Baylor no longer has open MRIs. They just don't have them. So I called around and someone's like, I believe the machine in Wiley is rated up to 600 pounds. So that's where I went. So if you're someone my size, I'm about 350. So if you're someone my size or bigger, and you are in the DFW area, I know Wiley has one that's rated to 600, and it was amazing. And the tech was so good. He was just so good. He was so good. He was so helpful. I let him know ahead of time. I was like, hey, I'm claustrophobic. I said, not only that, I said, but I have really bad back pain and laying, it's going to be hard on me. And he's like, this shouldn't take more than like an hour and 15 minutes. And I was like, thank you for telling me that. I said, I've been freaked out for weeks. So we did my neck, my cervical, my thoracic first. And he's like, okay, I'm about ready to start your lumbar. Are you okay? And I said, can I need to shift. So he rolled me out. I shifted a little bit, went back in. He pulled me out. We were done. I ended up wearing a short sleeve t-shirt and a pair of leggings because you can't have anything metal on your body. So like I couldn't wear a bra because the hooks on the bra and the metal on the strap. So I just went in and wore comfortable clothes because the very first time I had it done, I wore a sweater and a pair of jeans, and I was like, never again. The other good thing about Wiley is that it's not in a hospital, and you just literally walk from your car inside, and it like there was no one there. It was just beautiful. It was wonderful. 10 out of 10 would recommend that center. So I'm like, I called to make an appointment with the pain management doctor, and then I called to make an appointment with my neurosurgeon, and they're like, you're gonna have to come back as a new patient. And I was like, what? They're like, you haven't seen him since December 4th, 2019, and it's been too long. You're gonna have to come in as a new patient. I was like, even if I make an appointment today for, because I couldn't get into like January, February. And they're like, no, even then you're gonna have to come in as a new patient, and you'll need a new referral. So the person who referred me to that doctor was my neurologist, who I no longer see. So I reached out to my primary care physician. They referred me to a new endocrinologist who I see in January, and they've referred me to my neurosurgeon, and I need to call that office tomorrow, set up that appointment. So had Rob go with me because I got the results of the MRI. I hate that they do. I hate that they do that. So I have the OPLL. The neck hasn't really changed. Like my discs are straight. I don't know how that happened, but there's supposed to be a curve to your neck, a curve to your spine, really. So my vertebrae and my neck are straight. There's no curvature to my neck. The spinal cord is still touching all around the spinal canal. I have arthritis in my neck. Like there's no surprise there. This is the first time I've had my thoracic done, I believe, and I have a bone spur on one of the discs, and that is because if you guys have been with me for a while, a couple of times I'm like, do I have pleurisy? Like I went to the emergency room thinking I had pleurisy or something because I literally could not breathe, hurt to take a breath, etc. And it's actually nerve pain. They're like, no, this is nerve pain. And I was like, God damn, it's crazy. So I have that, I have a bone spur. I don't remember where in my thoracic spine it is, but it's about around where I know I've had pain there before. And then the tech was like, your lower back. I was like, I know. He's like, I could see on the MRI as I was doing it that your lower back is bad. And I was like, yeah. So I've developed scoliosis, which is curvature of the spine the wrong way. I don't know how bad it is because the pain management doctor was like, she's like, I'm not a neurosurgeon. She's like, I am not going to try to tell you or diagnose you. She's like, you're really going to have to go see a neurosurgeon. I was like, okay. So I have that. She's like, I do know that you have, the bone spur and arthritis in your cervical and your thoracic. And she said, you've got L4. L4 is my issue. So I had a laminectomy, L3, L4. And like I said, the neurosurgeon was like, you really need a rod in your back. And he's like, you really need a rod in your back. And I was like, I am not ready for that. But I'm going to have to be ready for that. So at L4, it's bulging and herniated enough that it's causing the nerve pain. And she's like, and I don't remember what it's called. There's a specific name for it, but it's literally sciatica going down my right leg. And that's because I told her, I was like, some days it's down the back of my leg. I said, some days it's down like my hips. I said, a lot of times it's in my groin, and trying to, like, if I have to spread my legs to get in and out of the car, it is basically impossible. Like, I have to turn and sit down and then kind of lift my leg to turn, because I cannot spread my legs like that, because the pain, I can't even describe what it feels like. It just feels like it just makes you suck in your breath. So yeah. So I called the neurosurgeon. I haven't heard back. I need to call back tomorrow. I need to make sure I put that in my planner so I remember to do that. So the lower back, every disc in my lumbar area is bulging or herniated, and I'm going to need major surgery. So we have decided, she's like, because she said, this was the first time anyone has told me that a rhizotomy is basically lateral. So she's like, a rhizotomy doesn't help the pain that goes down your leg. She's like, it's literally, it goes, what's across your back. That was the first time I'd ever heard it. I didn't read it in anything that I read. So it's like, okay, so basically I had a rhizotomy for no flippin' reason this time, because all of the pain has been on my right side and going down my leg, and it's because of that L4 disc. So what we've decided to do is, she said, let's try an epidural. So next Friday, which is the 16th, I believe, I am going to have a steroid epidural in that nerve. And she's like, you could get immediate relief. She said you could have relief for a year. She said you could not have any relief. She said it could be 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 days. She's like, there's no way of knowing. So I said, as long as it brings that inflammation down, I'm going to consider that a win. So yeah, basically my back is fucked. As if I didn't already know that. And unfortunately, so much of it is genetic, but I do know that some of it is my weight. So the last time I weighed, let me pull that back up. I weighed November 21st, and when I weighed on November 21st, I was 335. And that is the lowest I've been since 2006. And it's 10 pounds away from me being down 100 pounds. Because when I started 2019 or whenever after I got off the insulin, I was 425 pounds. So I weighed in, so that was the 21st, but I re-weighed, what day was that? Looking. I have like 1,000 t-shirt pictures because Rob wanted t-shirts for Black Friday and then he ended up not buying any of them. Go us. Wait, where is it? Oh, please. Oh, here it is. So I weighed in on last Friday, which was what, December the 2nd, at 343. So I was up 13 pounds. No, Misty, that's 8 pounds. 8 pounds. 5 of that, maybe 6 of that is from retaining water. I have been so swollen and dealing with edema. I know a lot of people don't believe it, but when the pressure changes, my body goes through it. My body goes through it. And we've had the weirdest weather. Like, we had a week of rain, like the week of Thanksgiving. We've been in the 70s. Like, we're going to be in the 70s this week. So my body has been going through it. So I've been retaining water like a son of a bitch. So there's that. And then there's the other, not going to the potty. So there's some of that too. So I know the next time I weigh in, which will probably be, I don't know, this Saturday maybe, I should be down. So yeah. So my goal has been for the past 2 years to be 299 by January 1st. And that is still my goal. So I'm hoping that just being cognizant of what I'm putting in my mouth, being cognizant of, what my body is doing, trying to stay on top of making sure that I'm not dealing with a ton of inflammation. I will say the last time I had my blood work drawn at my rheumatologist, which was when? October? No, it was the 1st of November. My inflammation markers had came way down. I mean, like, I'm normally in like the 50s or the 60s, and I was like literally in the teens, and I was like, holy crap. And I know the reason why it was that was because I was doing basically keto and carnivore again. So that's my goal going forward, is to kind of do, stick with the keto carnivore until I see the new endocrinologist in January. I'm still on the Wegovy. I still hate the Wegovy, but I'm still on the Wegovy. My blood sugar has been running high, and that's only because I ate like crap for Thanksgiving. We got pizza, and then I made like ham, and we had mashed potatoes, stovetop gravy one day. So there were 2 days over Thanksgiving where I like actual, crap. And then since then I've been doing very, 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 very low carb. I've been intermittent fasting. The only thing I've had today is a coffee with some heavy cream. It is 5:30. So yeah. Anywho, so the goal for the end of the year is to be down to $2.99, as close to $2.99 as possible. I would really I don't want to even consider going under the knife until I'm at least $2.50. And I'm going to try to give myself till, summer to get that done, because I know that if he has to completely change the structure of my spine, this is not going to be an easy in and out surgery. This isn't going to be me home the next day. This is going to be, rehab, and probably need to be in a rehab facility and all of the things. And I just don't even want to go there in my brain just yet. So there's that. So that's kind of the goal as for like weight loss. I've printed off a ton of trackers. So for 2023, I want to see if we can figure out what is going on with the muscle weakness. Is it the spine that's causing all of these issues? Is it hormonal? Is it my thyroid? Is it a neuromuscular junction disorder? Is it a rare disease? I don't know. But basically my full-time job for 2023 is going to be to track everything. I'm going to be tracking my pain levels. I'm going to be tracking like my different pains, my pain levels. I'm going to be tracking the weather, the pressure, like trying to put together a list of triggers. Or I really want something that I can take to a doctor and be like, here's all the data I've collected the past 3, 6, 9, 12 months. I need you to interpret it and figure out what the fuck is going on. Because again, I'm not dying for a diagnosis. Like I would really like someone to be able to say, listen, we think it's just these couple of things, and if we switch this around, you'll be fine. I'm not looking to be cured. I'm just looking for something that will help manage the symptoms. If we can figure out something that will help manage the symptoms, I will be a happy girl. That's all I want. That's all I care about, is being able to manage the symptoms, because the muscle weakness, you guys, is just out of bounds. It's completely out of bounds, and it's not any better. It's not any better. So this is going to be a busy month. I have the epidural. I have another infusion this month. There are a couple of things that I'm having done this month. Like I have 4 different doctor's appointments at the end of the year. So it's going to be a busy month, but again, my number one focus is going to be to get as low as I can. We're going to start 2023, and then I'm just going to hit the ground running. I am not going to be the source for you to get all of your keto and carnivore like information, how to, etc. There are some experts out there who will do it way better than I can, because for me, I'm going to eat when I'm hungry. I'm going to eat what sounds good. Like I've been craving deviled eggs for like 4 months, and I haven't made them yet. I really wanted some scrambled eggs earlier today. So like I am going to continue to eat intuitively, but also trying to make sure that I'm as very low carb as possible. So those are really my goals for like the end of the year. As far as 2023, I'm going to sit down and do a word of the year video at some point. We'll talk about all that stuff and what my actual plans are. I will be filming me setting up kind of like my trackers and my planner, like my chronic illness pain tracker planner thing. I will share that with you guys in case you're someone who feels like you need to do that as well. Because one thing that Robin mentioned and that I have found is like I'm having to repeat myself every time I see a new doctor. It's like I'm trying to regurgitate all this information, and I feel like it would just be easier if it's all written down. So that is the goal. Am I looking forward to it? No, because I feel like you guys know how I am. I can get fixated on something, or, that's why I try not to weigh every day. I encourage no one to weigh every day. And the only reason I'm weighing is because they want my weight every time I go to the doctor. So I'm just trying to stay on top of it so I know what it is. And like I said, I want to be at least 250 before we even consider any kind of surgery. So that's it. That's a lot of talky. talky. Anyway, that's it. Thanks to those of you who've reached out. I haven't been on Instagram. I haven't been in my Facebook page. Like, I just haven't been in the mood really to do any of it. I haven't even been in the mood to eat. Excuse me, the last couple of days I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to eat. Like, I'm not the least bit hungry. The Wegovy makes, nothing sound good. So it's just been. So yeah. Other than that, that's it. I appreciate you guys so much. I've been thinking back and forth on whether I feel like I want to vlog. I'm not doing Vlogmas. You guys don't need to see my face every single day for that long every day. I may vlog a little bit. I haven't decided yet. It's just going to depend on if I can remember. And that my memory has been an issue. I don't know if it's medicinal. I don't know if it's all connected. I just don't know. So anywho, and that's it. That's a lot of yakety yak to let you know that my back is fucked up. Gotta get some weight off. And yeah, I'm hoping that 2023 will be a bit easier and I will be able to get some answers and narrow down what the hell is going on and a plan to fix it. So anyway, I love you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. I don't know when that will be, but it will be at some point in my life. All right, guys. Bye for now.